What's up, fam? Episode 7 of We the People. Here we are in Oceanside, California. We're at the pier currently. We're going to walk around here and ask people what is their biggest fear about what's happening right now in America. I've got some anxieties. You've got some anxieties. Let's find out what these people's anxieties are. What is your greatest fear about what's happening right now in the United States?
That we won't have a choice in the future.
What do you mean?
I don't know, I just feel like we won't be able to, just do whatever we kind of want in America right now, you know? I just feel like I will have to get whatever the government tells me, like vaccines and mandates and stuff like that, and I think it's our choice, our body, our choice.
Oh man, that our children, our future generations won't be able to enjoy that, because they're taking those freedoms away little by little.
That freedom we have to worship.
To defend ourselves, and to have our own thoughts and opinions, even if we disagree with people, to be able to respect that and not, let those things divide us. But it's good that we're all different.
How do we combat that?
I think by speaking truth, even when people don't want to hear it, by not being fearful, by being bold, and by appreciating the rights that we have in this country, because a lot of people come here wanting to have those rights. My family came here wanting a better future, and without that, we're nothing.
Domestic terrorism.
Domestic terrorism?
Yeah.
From whom?
From the extreme right-wing Americans.
How do we remove the domestic terrorists, or what do we do about domestic terrorism?
Man, I wish I had the answer to that question.
How do we find out who the domestic terrorists are?
A lot of them are pretty obvious. I think a lot of them were January 6th.
Okay.
So don't have any fear about putting themselves on camera and making their voices heard.
Yeah. So would you say that domestic terrorists are the ones that were at January 6th? Or is it a wider populace than just those at January 6th?
I think it was Americans that were at January 6th.
So
American citizens.
Yeah. So I guess I'm trying to understand, when you mention domestic terrorists, how do we determine who they are?
That's law enforcement's job.
Okay.
You see something, you say something, but it's, that's law enforcement for them to determine. It's not, if I see something, I'll say something, but it's not for me to take the law into my own hands.
Do you think Antifa is a domestic terrorist group?
I think that's an ideology. I don't think they're an actual group of people.
Do you think QAnon is a domestic terrorist group?
I think they're crazy.
Are they an ideology as well?
They have their own ideology, but they're off the deep end.
What about the burning and looting in the streets? That's off the deep end too, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. If you're burning and looting, you should be arrested.
So then Antifa would be a domestic terrorist group, obviously.
I don't think they're an actual group. I think it's an ideology. I think people put them out there and saying, "Hey, you're Antifa if you believe this," and I don't go with that.
So then BLM, are they an ideology or a group? Because you can join that group.
They're a group. They're a group.
So they're domestic terrorists?
No, not all groups are domestic terrorists.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. How do you know one from the other?
By their actions.
So if they're burning and looting, they're domestic terrorists.
They're burning and looting. They're breaking the law.
So if they're burning and looting at a Capitol, breaking the law, they're domestic terrorists.
They're domestic terrorists, yeah.
Regardless of the ideology.
Regardless of the ideology.
QAnon, Antifa, BLM, they're all domestic terrorists if they're burning and looting at any buildings.
If they're burning and looting at the Capitol building, to me that's domestic terrorism.
I can't say that I'm really scared of what's happening because I know that God will take care of it. So I just let him take care of it. He does all the work. He's got the plan, so let him take care of it. I'm just in life cruising,
Would you like to share your ideas?
Good luck.
Do you like America? You love it or you hate it? I love it too. How do you define freedom?
Being able to do what you want.
So is everywhere else on the planet free then?
Inflation.
How did
The
it?
government's printing money without anything to back it up. Gold is the only thing that's worth any money, but it's not really worth much money anymore. Paper is paper is paper, and it's going to screw everybody over pretty soon. That's why.
Do you think crypto is an answer?
I think it's probably going to be the only answer. It's probably not the best one, but it's other than property, which we actually just bought a house because it's the only thing worth money right now.
So, what is your biggest fear that is currently happening in the U.S. right now?
I have no fear.
You're not fearful of anything?
Nothing.
Inflation?
Nothing.
The left and the right eating each other?
Nothing.
Whales?
Yeah, well, it's their problem, not mine.
Sharks?
That's okay.
What about you?
I don't have. I don't think there's anything that will scare me. I will face anything, whatever.
The simple aspect of it, you got to stop believing the bullshit. Take the muzzle off your face and live your damn life the way that you want to live your life. You know, not going to muzzle me. And if you believe the mainstream media and you don't see it yet, or you do see it and you believe the BS that you're being fed on the mainstream media, you got to find different sources.
So, knowing that, what is your fear that's happening right now in the United States?
I'm not scared of any of it, and I'm prepared for it. So, you know, shit's hitting the fan, and if you don't see that, then you're blind, and you're again getting your information from the wrong place. You just have to be prepared for the worst. Don't fear it. That's how we got into this problem, fear. You know, being spoon-fed fear, and stop being scared. I can't believe I couldn't imagine living with that much fear. So no, I'm not scared of any of it.
Can I ask you what it means to you to be an American?
Oh, I know you, dude. I actually follow you on Instagram.
Yes. All right, then what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Okay. It means to be loyal to your country and your own citizens. This guy's great.
Yeah. Yes. What is your biggest fear with what's happening in the United States right now?
For basically my people to get oppressed again. You know what I'm saying? For my people to go back under being slaves and stuff. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that slave. I don't like that slave thing or none of that, because everybody human at the end of the day. We bleed the same, we breathe the same, we just look different. It's just a different skin pigmentation, you know what I'm saying? If people can learn how to come together and stop worrying about who's better and try to be the superior race, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it would be better for us to come together, because right now we getting our ass kicked by the government, if we're going to be honest. A lot of this stuff is kind of written over in books or talked about a little, but they don't really go into it because they don't want to tell you the exact thing of what's going on in life. You know what I'm saying? Little do people know, America actually takes it from people. It don't give people nothing. It takes it from people. Let's be truthful. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
You know, and
they want us to be slaves.
And like honestly, a lot of people might not want to hear this. A lot of Americans might not want to hear this because they think it's the American dream to have a house, happy family home, and it is. You know, it's cool. That's a good, very standard life you would want to live. But you know, a lot of stuff could be easier. You know what I'm saying? If the government helped more, like they actually say they want to help. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, if the government helped more, they're gonna want something in return.
But I'm talking about without, you know what I'm saying, without wanting benefits back. You feel me? Like,
I don't think the government does that.
But they ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna happen. But
it's chains, bro. It's chains. They're coming for us.
I'm like,
they're coming for us.
So I always stand for my people. But you know, as if you ask me, like, if it's good for us to come together type thing too, you gotta understand, like, we all human. We breathe, bleed the same. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be nobody's slaves.
Of course, I totally agree.
Should be nobody's slaves, because at the end of the day, like I said, we are human. Everybody are human. We are not aliens unless you got some type of thing going on I don't know about. Then you feel me? I can't.
I'm not an alien. Are you an alien?
You know what I'm saying? I'm human.
Are you an alien?
I'm like, you see how you see the COVID vaccine, right? When have anything ever been so good that the government wants you to get that he didn't want you to pay back?
Mm-hmm.
Like, on some real stuff, let's really think about it. Stimulus check, you think you're not going to have to pay that back? They taking that slowly out your money. And little do you know, they slowly taking that out your money. So you don't see it, and you don't notice it, but it's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Inflation.
Loss of humanity we have right now. So sad with everyone, how they're all being differently with each other. I guess just teaching him the difference in the world, you know, not to judge, but also like the world's just different, you know, to expect what to expect, because you can't just expect happiness when there's rude people out there in the world too. Not to be too sensitive and not to be too cruel.
Yeah. I think my biggest fear is in the polarization of news to simplify things. So I'm old enough to remember when we kind of saw things in a gray area, like, oh, I see both sides, and there's a gray area. Where now like, the thinking has gotten simplified. Everything's very black and white, and so that makes it for more opposition and more distrust and people not getting along. So that's I think that's very sad, and maybe we could get back to more deeper conversations, So. Anyway.
That's powerful. What is a solution to remedy that?
I think people need to get off their phones, get off watching news, and to look at things more from the other person's perspective.
Yeah, so are you saying that the vaccine mandate is an example of how the government's taken over?
I'm just using it kind of as an example. You feel me? Not even just the vaccine. I'm talking about just anything. If you ever really paid attention, you know what I'm saying, like really look down in the history. Anytime the government was like, all right, I need you to go do this, I need you to go do that, or go do this, it's been good for anybody. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's always been some type of like backlash to it, or they want you to pay them back for something. You know what I'm saying?
Do you trust the government?
I stand alone on that one. Nah, I don't know. Do everybody else? You know what I'm saying? Do you? You know?
No, bro. No way. Or you know why I don't trust the government?
Why?
Because in 1770s, when the United States of America decided to go to war against the strongest nation on the planet, when they wrote the U.S. Constitution in 1789, they said that, or actually 1787, they stated that the U.S. government will always take power from the free people.
And I pray, Lord, that you would cover him, Lord, and his team, Lord, and that you would just be glorified, that people's eyes would be open and that hearts would be awakened, Lord, that you have taken care of our country, Lord, from the very beginning, Father God. So I just pray for more boldness, Lord, for him, that he would not fear man, Lord, but that he would only care about what you think, Lord.
Man, did we learn a lot about people's fears and anxieties this week. I was impressed by those that didn't have any fear. They're conscious of what's taking place, but they're taking an assertive action to do something about it. I hope you learned something this week. I hope you feel a little bit more encouraged about the state of the United States, as well as knowing I'm in San Diego. This is the region where everybody says, oh, so crazy. I met a lot of pretty sane people this week, so be encouraged. We'll see you next week. Peace.
You know what I'm saying? 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 I'm human.
Are you an alien?